You hate your job. You love coaching. You want to do this for a living. And everyone, your friends, your family, random strangers in Facebook groups are telling you that the coaching market is oversaturated, so you absolutely shouldn't do it. Sound familiar? I heard that exact thing in 2012, and since then I've made millions of dollars in multiple coaching niches. I've built a small team and I've spent 14 years working full-time as a coach. So can it be done? Yes! And you can do it too. You can do it now, you can do it today. So let's get into how to do it. So first off, I give you permission to panic. First things first, if you are scared right now, so was I. And I really want you to hear that because I think a lot of coaches treat fear as a stop sign when really it's just a signal that something deeply matters to you. Here's what's actually happening when you decide to build a coaching business. This is a huge identity shift. You're going from being someone with a clear, specific job responsibility, a title, a paycheck that shows up every 2 weeks, whether you had a great month or a terrible one, to being someone who is fully responsible for their own income, their own clients, their own everything. This is not a small thing. It's a complete reinvention of how you show up in the world. And I say this with so much love. It is supposed to feel hard. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. Now, you might be wondering, am I even ready? Am I qualified to charge real money? What if someone asks me something and I don't know the answer? And here's the thing. The readiness comes after the action, not before it. You will learn by doing. Sometimes the doing will be messy. Sometimes the doing will not work out. But you will make steady progress if you keep taking action. That has been true for every coach I've ever met, including me. And I've been doing this for over 14 years, and yes, I'm still here. So to be crystal clear, the fear doesn't mean you can't do this. It means that you're taking it seriously. And that is exactly the right place to start. And in case you are wondering, yes, you can build a business today. Now, let's talk about this oversaturated market thing because I want to address it directly. The first thing someone I deeply admired said to me in 2012 when I told her I was thinking of finally going for it and becoming a full-time coach was this: the market is oversaturated, you'll never make it. A little over a year and a half later, I had already made 6 figures from my career coaching clients, just over a year and a half. And today I've made millions. If I had listened to her, I would have made nothing. A friend of mine just retired from the Army this year and is now going into coaching, and he signed up for a certification at Georgetown University. And we had coffee recently at Pete's to catch up, and he told me that everyone in his life is telling him that the market is oversaturated for coaches. So I want to tell you exactly what I told him. Yes, there are a lot of coaches. There are indeed, this is true. But do you know what else there are a lot of? Italian restaurants. In most places, you can find a few just within a short drive of where you live. Some of them have a long wait on a Saturday night and will be around for years. Others are half empty and they're going to be gone in a few months. The restaurants that understand how to run a business, like what kind of clientele they're serving and how to best serve them, are the ones that will survive. The coaches who are struggling to get clients right now are not bad coaches. They're coaches running their coaching practice like a hobby instead of like a business. And these two things, and I cannot stress this enough, are very, very different. So the question isn't whether you can build a coaching business today. You can. I've watched thousands of coaches do it. The question is whether you're willing to treat it like a real business, like I did. So if you're wondering how to do this, let me show you how. So here's what I did when I started out. And by the way, you are 100% welcome to steal every single bit of this strategy. So step 1 is to get clear on your niche. When I started out, I made the same mistake almost every new coach makes. I had nine different offers on my website. Interview coaching, leadership coaching, passion coaching. It was a pretty endless list that seems crazy today. And do you know what I got from all of that? Nothing. Because when you try to coach everyone, no one thinks you're talking to them specifically. So here's what I want you to understand. People don't buy life coaching. They buy the solution to their very specific problem from someone who actually understands their situation. So what I did is I got crystal clear on my niche. And for me, that was coaching smart professional women who wanted to find their passion. That was it. That was my person. I wasn't helping them to get promoted to the C-suite. I wasn't helping them to get better in the interview or job search. No. I was just focused on helping them figure out that big career passion. The moment I made that decision to go all in, my whole business shifted. Instead of writing copy that could apply to like literally any human being on earth, I could speak directly to one person. I could say to them, I know you. You're successful, but you aren't happy in your job. And every time you come home and think about trying to find a new job or a new career direction, instead, you sit down and you start scrolling Netflix instead of updating your resume. You know you need a new direction, but you have no idea what it could be, and it's making you exhausted. So that kind of clear, specific message is what makes someone stop scrolling and think, oh my gosh, she's talking about me. Did you notice what happened in that shift? I stopped trying to attract everybody, and I started speaking directly to somebody. And that is the whole game. All right, let's get to step 2, create a compelling offer. Once I had my niche, the next step was to stop selling 9 options and create one clear, compelling coaching package. Not a vague, let's hop on a call and have flexible sessions, 3 sessions, 6 sessions, 9 sessions. No, a real package with a real structure, something with a beginning, a middle, and an end. Something a potential client could actually picture when I described it to them. And then I priced it at a number that made me genuinely uncomfortable. So my very first client paid me $2,000. And after that, I raised my rate to $2,500 and then $3,500. So now I know what some of you are thinking. You're probably thinking, Christy, I'm brand new. Nobody's going to pay me that. And I hear you, because I felt the same way. And creating my structured offer was super useful to address this particular feeling, as it gave me confidence and the ability to communicate the value of my coaching. I had a system. It made sense. It was valuable. And people saw that and they hired me. And just as a reminder, coaching is still a growing industry which is worth billions of dollars every single year, even today with AI and economic change. And people will pay real money for it. When the offer is clear, when you know exactly who you serve, and when your client can actually understand what they're getting, they will hire you. So please don't undersell yourself before you've even started. And I also want you to focus and pick one marketing channel. So that's step 3, pick one marketing channel. Okay, you have your niche, you have your offer. Now you need to actually find some paying clients. And this is where most coaches completely derail themselves, because they look at all of the options, the Instagram, the LinkedIn, YouTube, podcasts, email lists, networking events, referrals, and they try to do all of them all at once badly. But here's the reality. I was a business of one. I could not write a blog and do a podcast and post on social media and go to networking events and still show up fully for my clients. Nobody can do all of that well, especially not at the start when you're by yourself. And marketing is genuinely tiring. It is mentally hard to put yourself out there as a coach. People will scroll past you. Some people won't respond when you reach out. There will be weeks where nothing seems to be working in your business. So you have to be strategic with your time and your energy. So I made a decision. I picked one channel, just one, that I enjoyed and also felt like I could actually do well. And for me, that was public speaking. I spoke at every event I could find: chambers of commerce, women's groups, online panels, small local meetings, conferences. It didn't matter to me how big or how small, as long as there are professional women in the audience. And by going all in on one thing, public speaking, I got better fast. And I got traction fast. And within 18 months of making those 3 moves, clear niche, one compelling offer, one marketing channel, I made my first 6 figures as a coach. Not from a viral post, not from a secret strategy, from clarity and from consistency. It was not glamorous, but it did work. Now, I can already hear some of you saying, okay, Christy, that's great, but you did that 14 years ago. Like literally everything has changed. Has it though? Let's talk about how I'd start a coaching business today. If I was starting my coaching business from scratch right now, 0 clients, 0 audience, completely fresh. As much as I want to tell you that I'd start a social media company by vibe coding and then pay for advertising on a rocket to Mars, that's not what I do. Instead, I would do exactly what I just described, but with one major caveat, which I'll get to in just a minute. So I would get clear on a specific niche that I knew wanted coaching and would actually pay for it. I would create one compelling offer I could explain very easily just in a few sentences. And I would pick one marketing channel and go really deep on that until I had traction in my business. The only thing that has changed is where you go to find your clients. In 2012, coaches were writing blogs and networking and speaking. Today, you've got LinkedIn, podcasts, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, subreddits, Substacks, all full of your exact ideal client asking questions that you could answer right now. So the platforms are different. But here's what's not changed at all. People are still humans. You are still selling coaching to humans. How we buy things has not changed. How we reach people has. So here's the caveat I mentioned earlier. I'd be so much kinder to myself. I kept extreme pressure on myself, trying to appear so much more seasoned than I was, instead of owning that I was a new coach, starting a new practice, and that's okay. It's okay to be new at something. We all have to start somewhere. So let's talk about the payoff. But before we do, if you agree with what I've said so far, please hit subscribe. Okay, here's the payoff. The real reason you're not getting clients. So let me be crystal clear about what I'm saying here because I really don't want you to miss it. The reason most coaches still struggle to get clients is not because the market is oversaturated. It's because they're trying to coach everyone. And when you try to speak to everyone, you end up speaking to no one. Your messaging gets fuzzy, your offer is unclear, and potential clients read your website and think, that sounds nice, I guess. And then close the tab and hire the coach who made them feel truly seen. So you are the Italian restaurant that opens in a bad location with no business plan. That's the real cost of trying to coach everyone. The good news? A fuzzy niche, an unclear offer, scattered marketing, every bit of that is fixable and you can fix it starting today. So if you don't have clients yet, you are not a bad coach. You may just be a coach who hasn't gotten specific enough yet. You can do this. So just take it one step at a time and you'll start to make serious progress. Now, I know you probably really want to get a paying client so you can prove your business to yourself. And so to help, I have an amazing free blueprint to help you get a paying client in the next 14 days. As I said, it's free. It's step-by-step help to get you that paying client that you deserve because you are a good coach. And you can grab it at coachpony.com. I'll put a link to it right down below. And in the meantime, I'm 100% cheering you on.